Alright, so while Ken sorts out his audio, maybe I will get started. We are going to conclude the Calculus 1 exam for GPT4. And we got up to, last time, this question. When t is pi on 6, is the speed increasing or decreasing? Alright. So let's continue. It's asking about the intercepts in part A. I don't know if it's going to remember those. We'll just see. Are you back, Kenneth?
Yeah, hopefully my internet is not going to conk out again.
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, it's from,
cool. Awesome.
From our previous calculation, we found the x-intercepts occur at 0, pi, and 2 pi. I don't remember if that's correct. I don't even remember what question we're on. Let's see. Part A. No, that is totally wrong. Okay, I think this is more to do with the limitations of the memory than to do with Okay, so let's see how it goes. So, question 9 is about a particle moving along a parametric curve, cosine t sine 3t. Found the x-intercepts. It's supposed to find all the points where the velocity vector is horizontal. Where is the speed increasing or decreasing? Did it get that? Pi on 6. Increasing at pi on 6. Yeah, okay, so it got full marks on part C, it looks like. Now D is a little complicated. It's talking about where the curve crosses over itself. It needs to find one of these intercepts and use the velocity vectors to find the cosine of the angle between the two parts of the curve that cross at that point. So this is maybe one of the harder questions we've had so far. Well, it did correctly find the curve in its chat history. Now it's just stopped.
Needs more. Needs more.
Some encouragement.
Incredible.
Alright. I wonder what its issue is. Oh, okay.
I mean, isn't... Oh. There. Yeah.
That's interesting. I don't know. I don't think that's right. No. Okay, let me have a look at the actual vectors.
11 on 3 is kind of close to 1.
That's pretty generous. Root 3. Okay, it's computing the dot product of the vectors minus root 3 on 2 minus 3 on 2. No, it's got the second coordinates wrong. So it computed the velocity vectors incorrectly. Oh, it's right here. Minus root 3 on 2 minus 3 on 2. That's right. That's at 2 pi on 3. Oh no, it's... Yeah, it's got this extra factor of a half from somewhere. Okay. So I overheard two students in my calculus tutorial yesterday talking about ChatGPT, and one of them complaining that it makes calculational errors when they put questions into it. Then I told one of them that GPT-4 seemed to be on track to pass the exam for their class. they were pretty nonplussed sitting there. I don't know whether that's...
Are you going to tell them you did this when you finish?
I told them we were in the middle of doing it, yeah. Did it do any better this time? Yeah, that's right. Okay, look, it got the right answer this time. Oh, except for this, the signs now are wrong, I think. Yeah, it's missing the mind. Oh, which 2 pi on 3 minus root 3 on 2, 3. Yeah, that's... I got... No. This is the velocity vector at 2 pi on 3. 4 pi on 3, root 3 on 2, 3. Oh, closer. Yeah, it's actually really close. It's just got some small errors. That's pretty interesting, but I think we'll give it 1 mark for working, Ken, and move
1
on.
out of 2.
Yeah.
Not D, 1 out of 2. All right.
Would GPT with the mathematical plugin not make these errors? Or...
Yeah, that's a good question. Right, so there's a plugin for Mathematica / Wolfram Alpha. I haven't had a chance to try it because I don't have plugin access yet, but it should be able to reason about when to pass off these kinds of details to Wolfram Alpha. I don't know how well the integration works. Like in a calculation like this, maybe some of it should be done inside GPT-4 and some of it in Wolfram Alpha. You can't just get Wolfram Alpha to do the whole thing. Whether or not it's really good at knowing how to divide up the problem like that. And
you might find this funny, Dan, in Disruption when you mentioned the plugins. I literally alt-tabbed and signed up for the waitlist immediately. And then as soon as I finished that, your next sentence was, maybe we shouldn't be like linking GPT to everything immediately. And I was like, oh yeah, I didn't even think about it. I just thought like,
well, of course I signed up for the plugins as soon as it was available, notwithstanding my, concerns about it.
Yeah, it was just funny timing.
Yeah, right. Okay, antiderivative. Yeah, computing a derivative, I guess. So let's... Yeah, something Ken noticed in the chat during the week was that obviously the real application of GPT-4 is to writing these terrible exams. Yeah. I mean, they're good exams.
Nice.
Of course, we only give our students the most highly crafted artisanal exams, not some... There are good exams and bad exams, I do think, actually. The exams we set in our calculus classes are pretty reasonable as far as exams go. I've set other people's exams and seen lecturers assign exams with some kind of very strange philosophy around, like, oh, this question will be interesting. Or like, there's a nice detail here that'll catch lots of people. Which strikes me as fairly psychopathic. I don't know if you've done that, Ken. To show that a function is an antiderivative, I need to find the derivative and check if it's equal to f of x. Let's differentiate. Okay, let's see. Quotient rule, know the formula for arctan. Did I get that right? Looks fine. Did it expand the brackets? Looks fine. For the second term, yep. Now we add them, yep. Combine them. Wait. No. Look what happened from here to here. It should have multiplied the numerator and denominator by 1 plus x squared, but it actually got 1 plus x squared here. Okay.
Yeah, 1 too many times. That x to the 4 term is not meant to be there.
Well, he's saying I please bring the project at 9 out.
Okay, so it's going to get the wrong answer. I like how it just so it didn't get to the right answer, right? But it states the conclusion anyway, which is also pretty typical of a student. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's. Oh dear. There's no marks for the answer. I think it does deserve a mark for the working. So let's give it 1. But let's see.
Mark of the answer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it actually fixed it there. Yeah, this is pretty interesting, I think, and very typical, right? We discussed before this. And what's even more remarkable than the ability to generate it in the first place is to actually take that response, which is very minimal, and spot the error and correct it. That's really quite remarkable.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Use integration by substitution, the result of the previous part, to conclude the integral of from 0 to 1 of blah.
We're getting fucking dodgy, eh? I think it's
So we make a substitution.
yeah, because it's the same.
Oh, I hate this way of writing substitutions. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, it's because some people are really fussy about like u equals something, du equals something, dx, and so they insist on this way of writing it. I mean, I guess it's got to do with, I guess some people feel that often when students do this, they make a substitution, they forget to change the bounds of integration. And so,
Yeah, I see that a lot.
yeah. So I actually do recommend students write like x equals 0 to x equals 1 and then sort of and they remember to make the switch. But I do understand. This must be actually one of John Banks's exams, one of my former colleagues. So I think I wrote some of these questions, but I wouldn't have written this one. Okay. Pi plus 1. Ooh.
Oh,
I forgot to change the bounds of integration.
I didn't do it.
Oh, no.
Wait, but it's the same?
Yeah, that's 0 and 1. Okay.
Yeah, it's the same.
Oh, okay. So what happened?
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, what the fuck?
It's actually a very kind question in that regards. That doesn't matter if they
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't.
Anyway,
What is-
like, literally take 9 hours to go over that.
It's kind of strange.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Okay, not sure what happened there, but I think we'll give it 2.
And he's even like, oh, and then has 3 tutorials. And that's
Yeah, three.
I think the initial parts looked okay. All right, it's kind of stumbling a bit.
Yeah, all these calculation questions, man.
Yeah, it was funny when I was overhearing these students in my tutorial talking about it. They took great delight in the parts that it failed to do. So they were very very pleased that it was making errors with calculation.
Made them feel better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do get the sense that it's at least ChatGPT is being very widely used. So at least there was a group of 3 students. One of them was paying for GPT Plus. I think the other 2 weren't. So it gives you some indication of how widespread this has become already.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he called me basically.
16 on 3. Perfect. 3 marks.
Nice.
Awesome. 3 out of 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Been doing pretty well. Like ever since question 2 was the only one I got destroyed on. 3.
I mean, like, so what?
Been doing pretty well so far.
You know how many assignments I've done I'm just paying for?
Man, how long is this exam?
Like, what I'm gonna try and be like,
Yeah, I think we're near the end.
11.
Feels like a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're only gonna pay time, I'll do
Yeah, I guess usually exams in the States are, what, 2 hours? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a 3-hour exam. Like there are no mid-semester examinations in our large undergraduate classes. It's like a 3-hour final
Oh,
exam.
right. It's one massive one at the end.
Yeah. They may be changing it, but the way it's often done here is not to hold the examinations in a lecture hall like we usually did it. I guess that was at least at USC and UCLA. That was how examinations were held, and there were enough of the large rooms to do that. But that wouldn't really work at, say, the University of Melbourne. It's just there aren't enough large lecture rooms, so it has to be held in specialized venues, and so I guess it's too much effort to have mid-semester exams.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad
Actually, that's how it works back in UNSW
Well,
as
it's in a
well.
public.
Yeah.
Now
The
that I
RIP
think
is a very
about it.
public building.
Yeah, right. So there happens to be a huge public hall near the campus, which is kind of convenient.
Yeah, but I think if you do it for a year,
I can't book it that often.
Yeah.
So I think
well now
the way this class works, if it gets like 50 out of 80 on this exam, then it should like pass the subject, even if it did no assignments, right?
More or less, yeah.
yeah. But it's not working.
How's it?
Because I actually asked it.
It's gotten something weird about that third term, right?
Yeah. Like everything that they've done, like all the back and
Yeah, that's not right.
Mm.
Uh-oh.
Whenever there are fractions, I think it does badly.
Yeah, it seems to be trying to do this in one step, which is
Yeah.
also what students will make mistakes doing.
Right.
So, let's see. Are any of the terms right? X squared on 2 plus 2x? No. Plus the logarithm. Yeah, it's the right logarithm. Wrong coefficient. No arctan. Okay, so I think that's 1 mark.
1 out of 5?
Yeah. So let's see.
No, these calculation questions are worth quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying again with the long division. All right.
Let's
do it.
There we go.
At least it's not doing that weird backslash business. It's using multiple.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
everything that tries this. You want to say, don't do it, man. Don't do long division.
Oh, still
Don't do
no.
it, man.
Oh, wait. Yeah, it even got the first term wrong now.
Dang.
And he goes like, "Oh, by the way, damn, you're out."
Okay. Let's move on. Oh wait, there were two answer marks as well. So
one of them is for the plus C. No,
could be. I don't think so. Yeah, I think we'll say 1 mark. I feel like that's maybe a bit harsh.
It should get some working marks.
Yeah, it does. Probably deserves more working marks. Okay, let's give it 2 overall. So that's 2 out of what's that? 6.
2 out of 5. Was 5 or 6?
6.
Oh, 6. Oh my god. Wow. Okay. 2 out of 6.
Yeah, because the one is like, is it saying which next class is 2 hours, and then the next class is 2 hours. Okay, but how many do you have? Oh, dude. Oh, it's literally every like. Oh my god. So they're saying that it's multiple classes.
So this kind of problem, we're going to replace one of the powers of the trigonometric function.
It's going to get this squared again.
Yeah, Yeah, okay. Wait. Yeah, okay, got the minus sign, that's right. Why is it doing it? Oh, it's doing the definite integral from the beginning, okay. Okay, it flipped the thing to get rid of the minus sign, good. Okay.
Oh, does it need more encouragement? Did it run out of tokens?
It's just gonna leave it like that. It's scared.
Save that.
Fair enough. If I got to that in the lecture, I'd also be like, oh, screw this. I'm not a monkey. 2 on 99.
He's gonna do fractions.
It doesn't want to do it.
Oh,
What?
shit.
Okay.
I mean,
maybe made a mistake earlier, did it? Yeah, that's not... Shouldn't have gotten those numbers. We wouldn't give them such nasty things. Okay, so where did it make a mistake? This looked fine. Oh, I forgot... Oh, what?
did it leave it in the U and then try to substitute in the... Looks okay to me.
Oh,
Limits.
No. It shouldn't have had... Yeah.
Yeah,
It made a mistake with the power, right? So it's... The sine squared becomes 1 minus u squared, and then it's just...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a sine left, and the sine gets used up in the du, so this cube is actually incorrect. But I didn't catch it when I was reading through it, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I understand maybe that...
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Yeah, all right. So 2 working marks.
2 out of 4?
Yeah, 2 out of 4.
Awesome.
Consider the differential equation. I wonder if there's any global prompt we could have given it that would eliminate a lot of these mistakes. Something like show more steps of working. It's already showing quite a few steps of working. I don't think that's the issue. Okay, so separable dE, find the constant solutions, divide both sides by the y's, integrate. Y equals 0, y equals 6. Good. Find the solution with initial value y equals 3. All right. Oh yeah, okay, you could do that. Yeah, well. Oh no. If I was reading a student solution at this point, I would start worrying.
Definitely. Whoa.
No, this is... This is the best we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's worth saying that the actual course itself is information, right? It says what are allowed methods and what are not. So I suppose that is also context that it doesn't have. However, the failure to recognize a separable dE seems like a pretty significant mistake.
Yeah, right. Did you tell it? I missed...
No, the question
Did you
doesn't.
tell it was separable?
No, the question doesn't say it's separable.
Oh, the question doesn't... Yeah, I guess we can't tell it.
I think it missed the 6. Oh,
Yeah.
oh no, that was on the left-hand side. Okay. Apply the initial condition. The solution is, well, yes, but you can do better than that.
Do they run out of tokens? It's gonna. Oh, hey.
Why is he even apologizing? Like,
Yeah, I guess the RLHF process that fine-tunes the pre-trained model to be good at answering questions seems to introduce a lot of this kind of obsequious apologizing for making mistakes and so on. What? No.
I'd rather spend those tokens on getting the correct answer than apologizing to me.
Yeah. It's a friendly assistant. There's also a prompt that goes to it, a system prompt before everything you give it, which says things like, you are a friendly assistant that tries to help, and so on. So it kind of picks up some of that. Yeah, okay, I'm sick of waiting for you to do something sensible. So where did it get up
That
to?
every time. That's interesting. I thought it'd be like, I don't know, just hard coded somehow.
Yeah, well.
But I guess that would be alignment.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's hard coded in some sense. It's part of the context. Okay, so we got fine 1, 3, 4, plus 3, 7, but it missed the rest. So that's 7 out of 11.
There's 11 points for this. My
Yeah,
God.
it's kind of crazy. Okay, what's the result? That's it. That's the
All
exam.
right. I think
It's out of it.
Yeah,
110
so-
marks.
110. So it looks like I do have 110 total, and it's 73 out of 110. So I think that's pretty good.
All right, let's see.
66%. I mean, if I got 66%, I'll be kind of unhappy. But
It passed the subject.
It
Like,
did.
if it
Yeah.
got 0 on all assignments, it still passed the subject.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think that is just a pass. It might be a H2 even.
yeah.
If you assume the same grade for the... I think it'd be a P if you assume there's like no assignment marks at all.
Yeah, I think we can assume it did okay on the assignments, so that would be
Yeah.
another 10% if we
Yeah,
assume it
should-
just kind of
should
passed the
congratulate it.
assignment.
Oh,
So-
we can say that.
Thumbs up. All right. I guess we've also used up the time. I guess we'll do something else next time. But yeah, this was fun. I'm glad we did this. I kind of expected it to do more or less as well as it did. I think it could. It's sort of surprising given that they tested it on exams. When they released GPT-4, they released some data about that, and I think it seemed to do better on AP Calculus in their metric than what we saw here. Maybe it was like mid-70s or something from memory, so maybe not too different.
Wow.
I can imagine it's pretty high variance, right? So it does seem to have the underlying capability, but just depending on the question, it might get caught up. The more calculational questions, it seemed to do worse. It seems to not really have the ability to recover from an error. So I think a student would be trained to look at the question again in those 3 hours. They would have review time, and they probably would catch some of these errors. So maybe there's a bit of an unfairness there where this is just pure feed forward and there's no attempt to, you have to get it right the first time or you get nothing. So maybe this is underselling the capabilities slightly. But yeah, still pretty interesting. Anybody want to have any comments before we wrap up?
Well, is that a win for the humans or?
Yeah, well, that's a good question.
Mhm.
Okay, now right. Uh-huh.
That was easy.
Oh, good, yeah. I have basically given this question on an exam, I think.
Mm. Oh.
Or maybe it was an assignment. So this is tan H, right?
Mhm.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Good luck.
Okay. I like that.
I wonder if he can do his own question.
You Kenneth.
Yeah, that's right. The human has chickened out at the first sight of a problem. Yeah, I think it. I can imagine already this semester. I mean, I haven't been writing assignments for the calculus class this semester, but if I were, I would probably be using this to suggest problems. I mean, there's basically
Yeah.
there's really very little. I mean, you're tweaking values in a sort of existing library of problem sets. It's quite rare you'll come up with a really new question. I think there would be no. I don't feel any qualms about using it to generate questions, to give myself ideas, and then I check them and tweak them. That's more or less my process anyway. Is that then hypocritical if I think students are making a mistake by using it to do the assignment? I don't feel it's hypocritical because it's not symmetric, right? Like they're actually not necessarily able to do the problem, so they have value in practicing on them.
I can't imagine you spend a huge amount of your time creating assignment and exam questions anyway. I would assume you optimize to do it quickly.
Well, in calculus, it would take me a full day to write a final exam. Just to write it, to come up with the problems. And then to write solutions might take another half day, and then deal with the administration around submitting them and getting other people to second examine them. So it's probably 2 full work days to put together a new final exam. Which is why we're all thrilled to have to write special on special on special exams for 2 people, obviously. But for assignments, yeah, it's sort of easier. But for a subject, I mean, for more advanced subjects like metric and Hilbert spaces, an enormous amount of time can be taken up in writing good assignment questions. I think it's maybe
if this is being recorded, you won't answer this, but I've assumed that some lecturers would make the special consideration exams harder just out of spite for being forced to write a second one. Do you know if that's true?
I haven't heard anybody say them doing that. Certainly, people are generally pretty unhappy about the system, but often you're recycling old exams and tweaking them a little bit. And certainly less effort goes into writing special exams, which is perfectly reasonable, given they're sat by 4 or 5 people who have high probability of not turning up.
Not really.
But in small in small subjects, like a third year class, where writing a new exam is really a big effort. I mean, I have written special exams from scratch for, say, metric and Hilbert, not been able to use them in future. I do not feel happy after that experience, but obviously it would be highly unethical to make it harder on purpose or something. I don't imagine that's common. Okay, let's leave it at that. Thanks everyone, this was fun, and we'll think up something also interesting to do in this direction next time, and then maybe a few weeks after that we'll return to Euclid Book 3.
Sounds good. But Dan, I'll be out next week and the next, so I'm on vacation.
Cool. All right, maybe we'll just go on hiatus for a couple of weeks then and resume when you get back.
Awesome. See you when I get back then.